YouTube? Welcome back to Unix TCG, and today we are going to dive into how to better evaluate the cards in set 3 when it comes to your release events to better help you win your release events. People have been requesting this, and in the past people have really liked it and said it really helped them. So we're going to get back on that again. So if we can get this video over 100 likes, that'd be much appreciated. And when it comes to other things in the Universe X sphere, one, this giveaway is officially closed on the Patreon. We'll be announcing the winner hopefully within the next week. I am in the process of moving, so bear with me. But for August giveaway, we got to see, but I'm going to try to get another one of these and maybe make this the next giveaway, the top 64 Goku. If I can't do that in time, maybe we'll make it set 3 related. I do have every gold marker right now except for SS4 Goku, if anybody wants to help me out with that. But once I get more gold markers, any of the extras can be giveaways. So we're gonna see how it works. We're gonna see how it works out. Last but not least, if you want any additional exclusive content, you can always get on the Patreon and see what I'm cooking up for set 3. We've gone through a bunch of initial deck profiles, and we're gonna keep diving into those and crafting those, as well as revisiting old decks. But we got a lot of content coming in soon, just trying to really get the living situation sorted out. And with that being said, let's hop into the video. So we have a lot to go over here. As most of you guys know, the sealed format for these release events, you're gonna get anywhere between 4 to 6 packs, and you're gonna be able to construct a 30 to 40 card deck based off of these cards. Now, a couple things that are pretty cool, you're gonna be able to proxy any leader you want, bring any leader you want, and it will be congruent with like set 3. So any set 3 and back leader you'll be able to use. That being said, cards in your deck that refer to your leader are essentially just up for game. If a card says you need a Cell leader to use it, like Cell Games Arena, your leader, no matter what, is considered Cell. Same with color. So if it says you need a red leader, I don't think we have cards like that right now, but if it says you need a red leader to use it, nah, any leader can use it. And that's going to change up the viability for a fair amount of these cards. And with that being said though, we are going to go through each rarity, and then we're going to talk about the best leaders in my opinion for this set when it comes to sealed. So first, we're going to start with the color. The first thing I'm going to talk about are vanillas. Normally in the game, the constructed game, unless you're trying to play skillless trunks, yeah, vanillas just kind of seem a little lackluster. Sometimes you'll see the occasional birder in the Frieza deck because it just doesn't have an effect, but you need more Ginyu Force count and extra 10Ks in a deck that also have Frieza Force as a Frieza's Army as a like tag. But at the same time, vanillas and sealed are going to be very, very good. They're going to provide 10k combo power, good stat lines. 2 for 20k is going to go neutral with a leader. 3 for 25 is going to go above a leader, and 4 for 30 is just going to hit very, very hard, all while being 10ks in your hand. So don't underestimate your vanillas. When in doubt, vanilla it out. Now the next card we have, and we're going to go by color, Makarita. Makarita is a 1 cost 10k power, 10k combo power that on play, if your leader's awaken, is going to add 10k combo power to a battle card of your choice. That's going to be a potential 10 to 20k power swing if you combo with it, and that's going to be a huge buff in the sense that in sealed you don't necessarily have all the cohesiveness of drawing a bunch of cards. So a lot of times the hands will be small, and this is going to go a long way instead of having to combo out of your hand. Or you can just use the power boost and use this as a defensive combo if they don't have any board clear. Now the next card I'm going to talk about is Sphere of Destruction. Sphere of Destruction is also very interesting because Sphere of Destruction just activate for 2, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 25,000 power or less, KO it, and then if your opponent has 4 life or more, deal 1 damage. This is going to remove a body, and it's going to bring your opponent closer to halfway through their life. And this is all going to happen without you using too much of your power. So like too much of your cards in hand. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because even when they awaken, they're gonna have to start, like, yes, they will start getting cooler effects, but they will also start having to just go through more of your cards. If you're using this and they're getting their attacks in and whatnot, eventually they're going to be awakened, you might not be awakened, and you just have more time to charge and play bigger bodies, bigger vanillas, and that could be the difference between you having the advantage and you not having the advantage. That being said, depending on the leader, you may want to watch out. You don't want to flip a Vegeta or a Frieza over too early. So this card is like yes and no. You can always charge it, but removal is very rare at this rarity, no pun intended, and you'll want to keep an eye out for it. Next, I'm going to talk about the draw ones. There's pretty much one for every color but red in this set. You've got Kibito in blue, Bulma in green, Yamu in yellow, and then just Son Goku BR. Son Goku Childhood BR in black. These are all just good. You play it for 1, you're gonna draw a card, you're gonna get 5k combo power on the board. You see you know, go a little bit deeper into your deck. And then because of the way these games work, when you run out of deck, you shuffle your drop into your deck and you draw. So when you charge things, you kind of take them out of the equation. So you're taking your worst cards out of the equation, and then you're shuffling, drawing into your better cards. So just more thinning. Next card I want to talk about is in blue. This is Krillin. He's just a 2-cost 15k, 10k combo power, all good, well, except the power. But on play, if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, and this card in your leader game plus 5,000. My cat is literally just scooching her way over a plastic bag for no reason. No, but seriously, yeah, if your leader and this card will gain 5k. So this will become a 20k attacker, and then it's going to allow your leader to become a 20k if it's unawakened, a 25k if it is awakened, or if you have a 25k leader, 30k. So this isn't bad, and especially in this form of play, you're going to often have just little to no cards in hand, especially mid to late game. So this is always going to be live. Next, we've got Piccolo, 3-cost 20k power, 10k combo power, and critical. That's just it right there. Cost 3 and 20 for 3 is low, but critical and 10k combo power is a lot. So yeah, valuable card. And then we also have this random 7-cost beefy 45k Vegeta with 10k combo power because it's vanilla. It is 7, but this card is going to be very hard to attack over in sealed format. It's going to be very hard to remove in sealed format. So once this guy gets on the board, you can pretty much just agree that he's sticking there. There are very few cards that are going to get rid of this, but yeah, that's pretty much that. So I actually really do think that this vanilla is kind of a blessing if you see it. Now we're over here at Vegeta. This card is actually crazy to me, but he's a 3-cost 25k, which is already good stats, 5k combo power. End of your turn, 1. Your leader gets plus 5k power until the end of your opponent's next turn. In a game setting like this will literally cripple your opponent, and it's not even close. Your opponent will literally just have to look at you and be like, dang, I have to start giving up all my already small hand to get through this, or dang. And that's rough. So this is actually a card where I feel like you almost always pick it up. You almost always pick it up. All it's got to do is survive one turn, and then it's going to help you for the rest of the game, and it's going to draw fire. Your opponent will have to get rid of it before they want to swing on you, because this card every turn is just a lot of value to leave on the table. Next, you got Majin Buu turn into Candy. This card says activate main KO when your battle cards. If your leader is Majin Buu, draw 2 cards, but because of the sealed format, you will not need to be Majin Buu, so this card is going to gain a lot of value. Activate battle, choose one of your leader up to your battle cards, and it gains plus 15k power for the battle. It's going to be good on offense, it's going to be on defense, and if you need to draw, which is going to be, like I said, a little more rare in the sealed format, you got this card. Now moving on to the black card, you got Giru, which is going to destroy 1-drops. Not particularly great, but you can always have it as a 10k at the very minimum, and if your opponent plays a 1-drop that you just want off the board, bam, play this. They lose 5k combo, 10k combo off their board, you gain 10k combo, enough said. Next, you've got Dr. Mew. Dr. Mew is just a 1-cost 5k power, 10k body, or 10k combo power. This says activate main once per turn, 1 and discard a card from your hand. If you don't have an energy marker, place an energy marker. This is going to be pseudo ramp as long as it stays in the field for a cost of a card in hand, which could be dead, you never know. And if you were playing a black leader, this is going to be a good outlet. At the common rank or common rarity, you have the potential to get quite a few of these in your couple packs, so you might as well use them if the strategy permits it. Now next, you've got this Majin Buu. He's just a 1-cost blocker with 10k combo power. Blockers are a lot better in this setting than they are in any other stage of the game or any other format of the game, because they will likely actually stick in most cases. Now there are a lot of cards that will -5, and that's gonna suck, or destroy something with 5k or less, but at the very minimum, sometimes this guy can save you combo power in hand just by being on the field. Now next, you've got the Great Ape who gained intelligence, and I don't really like this card in actual game, but when you don't have color restrictions like in sealed, there are going to be a lot of times you do fulfill the 4 or more cost sand in your battle area, so you're going to be able to give a battle card 10k, and you're going to be able to draw a card to replace, and any card that can thin is a card that helps you win. That's how I feel, especially in sealed. So I dig that. I dig that. Next, we are going to move over to uncommons, and after we're done with uncommons, we're going to move on to rares, and then SRs, and then SERs. SRs and SERs don't really need explanations, but people are going to be like, well, you didn't talk about this, so I'm going to talk about that regardless. Now, The first card we're going to talk about at the uncommon rarity is Kunshi. And Kunshi just says it's a 2-cost 10k combo. That's all that really matters. And it says on play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less, and it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. This is going to take certain things off the board and make it very much so harder for them to attack you, potentially get more value, and that's good. When your opponent does land a bomb and you play Kunshi in response, take it at least off the board for the next turn, that's great. We love that. So yeah, Kunshi, good card, proven card. Next, we have got Coquette, Android 18, Sun Gohan Youth, Bibbidi, and Bola GT. These are all super combos, and they all will go hard. As many times as you can get super combos in your deck, please get them, because once you start charging all your useless cards and you start redrawing your deck, the super combos are going to flow, and they're going to really decide the turn or the tide of battle. They will change momentum. They 1 card instead of 2 cards out of your hand, the 3 cards out of your hand, just for the combos. Yeah, this is good. Literally, there is no, you might just sort out your super combos, put them on the table, and decide where you go from there. Now, the next card I want to talk about is Son Goku. This 3-cost 25k 5k combo power. When attacking, if there's a battle card with 30,000 power or more, draw 1 card. Because we are able to mix colors, there are a plethora of vanillas, SRs, rares that do have 30k power. They're like, this card is going to be a extra draw engine that pushes good weight, and because it can push its damage and draw a card, you're going to be in a great space when you can resolve these and protect and keep them on the field. And this is a card worth protecting because he is going to be able to help you filter through your deck. This is a great card in Constructed. I love its event pack. I've got 3 of them, looking for 1 more to be honest. And yeah, this is good. Now the next card, you've got Ruan. Ruan is a blocker, 2-cost, 10k combo power. Those are the only things that really matter. On play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. He's a Self-Awakener in the uncommon space. This is going to be good. This is actually just going to be very, very good. Now the next card here is Belmod, and Belmod says 20,000 power, 2k, 0 combo power, and then Belmod right here says when attacking, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gains 20,000 power or less, and it gains minus 15k for the turn. This is going to kill a lot of things or bring them within range, and if Belmod ever attacks something, it's generally going to die because it could literally be 35k and you're going to bring it down to neutral. And then you can combo on it. But if it's a 20k to 20k, yeah, it's gone. If it's a 25k to your 20k, it's gone. So, oh, sorry, it can't be a 25k. So if it's a 20k to 20k, you're just evaporating with this. So this is some good removal. I think this is some good removal up until your opponent starts playing some cards they were lucky to pull in the first place. Next, you've got Greatest Showdown of all time. This is a 5-cost, activate main, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. It gains minus 20,000 power for the turn. Then play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 4 or less in universe and special traits from your hand. This is a weird, funky card, but if you have the right cards in deck to pull it off, you'll be able to play any universe 11, any universe 6, any universe 7, while potentially getting rid of something on the board. So that's where you kind of want to be. Remove something on the board, play a body, all for 5 energy, and that's actually worth. That makes it feel worth. Now, this next card over here, the Son Goku, 2-cost, 20,000 power, 5k combo power. When attacking, draw 1 card, then place 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck. This is basically just going to help you filter, get the cards you need, keep it pushing. Very good. This next card, Bulma. This Bulma card just says discard 1 card from your hand. At the end of the turn, draw 1 card. Get rid of a useless card, draw a card at the end of the turn to help you filter through your deck. That's all I heard. It's a 1-cost, 10k combo power if you ever need to combo it off. Very, very, very good card when you're just kind of wading through your lackluster cards to get to your good cards. Next you got Raditz in green, 3-cost, 20k, 5k combo power. On play, kill to one of your Earthling only battle cards with a cost of 1 or less. Add the top card of your deck to your energy. We just went over a Bulma. We saw another Bulma as a draw. There's going to be multiple cards that allow you to do this, and this is going to be a cool card that's going to allow you to, please leave the bag alone, that's going to allow you to ramp, and ramping and sealed is also very good because you'll be able to get to your bombs or your big vanillas faster. Now we have Days of Training. Speaking of ramp, and this says activate main if your leader is Piccolo, add the top card of your deck to your energy and rest mode. Bing bing bing. Yeah, you don't have to be Piccolo. However, I will warn you, you're playing with slots here, you're playing with probability. Are you going to get a ramp? Yes. What happens if you pull 2 SRs and you just put one of them into your energy? you are likely never seeing that card again for the rest of the game. So I think this card is a little scary in terms of the ramp part. But what's not scary is the giving your leader up to one of your battle cards plus 40k power for the battle. That is not scary. That's the opposite of scary. That's the game ender. Yeah, that's it right there. That's ridiculously strong. So yes, this is a very, very strong card, and I am excited to see if I can pull any in my packs. Next, you got Deborah, and Deborah is a blocker who, first off, he's 20k power, 2 cost, 5k canal power, but he's a blocker who can tap a 2 cost or less when he blocks, potentially taking 2 cards off the board. You know, you block with them, your opponent's leader swings, you block with them, and then you tap something down. They'll have to sequence correctly. They'll have to, if they have only 1 battle card on the board, they have to swing with that first, then they have to swing with their leader, then they play their next one, just so they don't ever get 2 for 1. But this guy could have some pretty cool applications in Sealed. Now, speaking of Deborah, we have the other Deborah. On play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and then play up to 1 battle card with 2 cost or less and a Wicked Soul and his special traits to your hand, or from your hand. That's great. 3 cost, 20k power, and he's going to help you self-awaken. Wonderful. And then you also next have this Majin Buu Pure Evil, which is just going to be a 3 cost, 20,000 power, 5k canal power, critical. When attacking, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. This is going to be great because you'll be able to attack your, because it has critical, it's even better than it could be. Attack your opponent's leader for critical, rest something, then swing on that something with your leader to deny them the card to hand. This is an excellent card for Sealed. I'm just putting it out there now. Speaking of the cards for Sealed, you have Yakon, which is just a yellow Vuon, but this one can be dropped from the Deborah we just talked about. So now you'll be able to play 2 Self-Awakeners in 1 turn, potentially with 3 energy and these 2 cards in hand, going from 6 life to 4 life to Awaken, which is going to be a huge swing of momentum while adding 2 bodies to the board, including a blocker. So yes, if you pull those 2 cards, just know you got a pretty good combo in hand. And every time they go to the trash or the drop and you get them back, you'll be able to play that out when you redraw them. That's still 2 bodies for 3. Now we have got the Raycoon. And the Raycoon is like okay as a card, but still, he's a 2 cost, 20k body that'll let you draw a card and then discard a card. Mechanically correct in terms of wording. You're going to see all your options before you have to discard, and he's going to help you filter through your deck. So don't estimate this guy. Very good, auto include. Next, you got Goten, and Goten is just a 2 cost 15k. When attacking, if you have an energy marker, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards the cost of 2 or less and KO it. That's wonderful removal in Sealed. There's a lot of 2Ks. See, this guy's a 2K. Half the things we just talked about were 2Ks. Blow them up with Goten. Yes. Now we have this Trunks GT, 2 cost 20k. When attacking, if you have an energy marker, choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less and return in his hand. You can stun your opponent like this in this game. You can bounce a 2 cost Self-Awakener. You can do quite a few things with this card, and that makes him good. But with that being said, we are all done with the uncommons, so we're gonna have a quick word from our sponsors, and then we're gonna get into the rares. But this is gonna be a very special word from our sponsors because there's a special deal going out for Raging Roar, so stay tuned. Alright y'all, taking a quick moment to shout out the sponsors for this video. First up is Mystic TCG, a store based in Missouri that sells all sorts of TCG products, even more than what you see featured here on this page. They also buy singles, collections, and prize cards, so make sure you actually catch them out in their store in Missouri at an event, or even on their Facebook, just to be able to see the events here, but also ask them what they're up to and what they're looking for in terms of vending. You can also use the code UNIXTCG to get discounts off your pre-orders as well as orders, so make sure you get your TCG product while it's hot. Then you have Eclipse Cards and Hobby based out of Texas, and if that sounds familiar, they did sponsor me with a box of Fusion World Set 1. But as you can see on this page, there is a plethora of TCG products that they are actually having for sale at their establishment. You can also even buy things that aren't just TCG products. As you can see on the screen right here, they hold their own locals, they hold their own events, and they are going out to more and more events. You can actually check their Facebook to see their schedule, as well as call and ask about their vending list, and at the checkout for their website, website, you can use the code UNI10X to actually get percentages off your pre-orders or your orders. So go check it out as well. And we're always up to all sorts of things in Universe X. So you can go down the description and check the link tree to find out about my other channels, my Twitch, or any other avenues that I'm creating content on. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can always go down to any description on any video and find my Amazon affiliate links. These products here will differ from video to video to cater to the audience in question, but it's just very easy to see something that you may like or be interested in, open it up and choose the style and or color that'll work for you. All proceeds will give kickbacks to the channel, so it'll be some direct support, and I'll always appreciate the help from you guys. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. So yeah, right on the screen, you'll be seeing my little flyer for it, but Mystic TCG is selling boxes and cases at this price. You get an even further discount by using the code UNIXTCG in checkout, and they ship out very fast. As long as you are putting in your order by next Tuesday, like a week from when this video goes live, the week of release, you should be at a pretty good opportunity of getting your box Friday or Saturday, and if at the latest, maybe Monday, depending on where you are in the US. So yeah, I would just check that out. Make sure you get your set 3 product and make sure that you are ready to compete at these high levels. So with that being said, let's get back to the evaluation of these release events. Okay, so now we're going over to what I feel like my top picks in the rares are. First, we have Casserole. There's nothing too special about this guy. This is literally just like the Deborah card that we went over in the uncommons, but he's red and rare, so he's gonna be hard to pull. But still, a Self-Awakener, and then he's going to be able to cheat in a Pride Trooper. So yeah, for what it's worth, him and Vuon are the 1-2 punch for red. Next, we have this Dispo, and he's a 2 for 20k. But he just basically said that this card will be removed from the battle area by your opponent. You may place 1 card from your life to your owner's drop instead. When attacking, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards that cost of 5k power or less and KO it. This is going to allow you to get rid of all your opponent's weenies, little setup cards, little cantrips, and make sure that you don't give them any extra combo value. Now, with that also being said, you now have this kind of point where if you don't mind losing the cards in your life because you're going to shuffle them back, this guy can just kind of help you turbo awaken. If they try to get rid of him in any way, shape, or form, you just trash a life, and until you get to 4, that doesn't matter. So yeah, you really just can try to awaken faster if your leader being awakened is going to do that much. The next card we have here is Beerus. This guy, really, you're just looking at, he's a 3 for 20k, which is kind of like bad, but he's a 10k combo, and on play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. That's all you're looking for. You can't even use his other effect because we don't have 5k Beerus or 5-drop Beerus in this set. But Self-Awakener, 10k in hand, I heard enough. Next card is It's Over, and It's Over is pretty cool. Activate main if you have a battle card with 30,000 power or more. Choose up to all of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less. KO them. Yes, you will have to have quite the setup because you will need that 30k, but lots of vanillas can hit this range, so It's Over is not exactly out of anybody's reach. Next, you've got the Sun Goten, 2 cost, 15k power, 10k combo power. And when you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, draw 1 card. Very good in the early game, very good in the mid game, very good in the late game. So this guy pretty much is never dead, and he's a 10k combo, so he's really never dead. Next, we got this Trunks, a 2 cost, 20k, 5k combo power that can bottom deck an opponent's battle card with 2 cost or less, place at the bottom of its owner's deck, then place this card from the bottom of its owner's deck. So this is going to be a good 20k poke, but then you can also remove something of your opponent's off the board, and depending on what you have in the deck, you might be able to even lower some costs. So that's pretty cool. Next, you got this Beerus, 2 cost, 20k, 0k combo power. On play, choose up to one of your battle cards that cost of 3 or more and KO it. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. Because we have vanillas that can fit this criteria and we shuffle things from our drop to our deck, this is going to be an excellent way to filter to your best pieces. Vegeta, 2 cost, 20k, critical. He's basically just Red Caulifla. Red Caulifla from set 2, which is wonderful. That card was great, great, great and sealed, and so will this card. Now we have this Cell. Now this Cell is very interesting. It costs 50,000 power. So if this guy hits the board, good luck getting him off the board. But on play, if your leader is Cell, which is every leader now, choose all cards at the cost of 6 or less in your opponent's battle area, add them to your opponent's energy and rest mode. So this is effectively a board wipe. However, just be careful. Using this card against your opponent when they have 3 cards in hand is different than using this card against your opponent when they have like 5 cards in hand. You may give them the win because they can start playing exponentially more cards than they did before. So just be careful if you get this and decide to include it in your deck. Now this card is actually really stupid. Special Beam Cannon is going to be nuts if you pull it, I believe, in Sealed. Because activate main, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Then if you have 8 or more energy, choose your leader up to one of your battle cards against plus 30k power for the turn. You're always going to be charging this game to get some cards that you didn't want to fill your deck up anyway with out of the mix. So getting up to 8 may not be that hard, especially if you have a card or two that ramps. But on that point, you do have Special Beam Cannon being able to blow up any card and then make sure pretty much that your leader is going to connect for damage or a battle card. So I think that this is just overall really strong, and yeah, I love it. The next card we have here, Son Goku. Son Goku is a 3-cost 25k blocker, or sorry, 25k, yeah, blocker with 5k combo power. End of your turn 2, draw a card and switch this card to active mode. This is great because if you're just playing some small things around him after you played him, like you play a cantrip, you draw a card, you would attack with your leader, draw a card, attack with this guy for 25k, end of turn, tap to draw a card, put this guy out of harm's way, but also leave him up for blocking. So I think this guy is actually going to be a pretty good card to have in Sealed. Next, we have Bobbity. Bobbity's very funny. 2 cost 5k, 5k combo power. Barrier, auto once per turn when an opponent's battle card with the cost of 3 attacks, draw a card. A little up and down because there's no way to really know the meta. There's going to be a lot of cards that cost 4, a lot of cards that cost 2, you know, boss cards, SRs that you pulled. But a lot of good, decent cards will cost 3, so this should actually get its mileage, and it's going to stay on the get board for the rest of the game. Then we have Final Explosion. And Final Explosion says activate main, choose all of your opponent's battle cards that cost 3 or less, switch them to rest mode, then choose up to 2 of your opponent's rest mode battle cards that cost of 4 or less, KO them. This card is a hoss. This card is destructive. This card is good in Sealed. It's good in like Constructed. This card is gonna be good. If you see it, put it in your deck. There's nothing else I can say about that. Removal for 2 in a Sealed game, yeah, do it. Then you've got the Energy Marker crew. This guy is just gonna become a 20k swinger if you have an Energy Marker on your turn, and that's great. That's great. It goes neutral with leader. That's what we need. This Gohan is actually destructive. If you have an Energy Marker, when you play him for 3, you just blow up something that costs 3 or less. That's great removal. Straightforward removal is very hard to find, and since there are Energy Markers or Energy Marker creators at the common rarity, you're gonna be able to get in your bag with cards like this. Next, we have Trunks, and Trunks just is permanent. If you have an Energy Marker, this card gains plus 10k power, so he's at 3 costs for 30k. Another good push, 10k combo power. Next, we have Hercule GT, and because he doesn't specify black, this is just going to allow you to take a 1-drop from your trash to your hand. That's it. And eventually you're going to get him back when you shuffle and draw, and then you'll be able to do it again. So this is actually really strong in draft. Or sorry, Sealed. Next, you have Legic. Legic just has 2 cost 20k power, and he's a blocker that will untap himself at the end of the turn if you have an Energy Marker, making him able to swing and untap himself. Energy Marker control may actually be a very valid strategy in here. And speaking of that strategy, you also have 10 times Kamehameha, which just says activate main, choose one, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 2 or less and KO it. If you removed an Energy Marker to use this card, you can choose 2 battle cards with a cost of 3 or less and KO them. Very good. This card is going to be good removal. I would charge it if you don't need it, but it could save your life because it's going to really reverse the momentum of the game. So now, let's actually move over to the SRs, which don't really need much explaining, but some people are still going to ask for it anyway. So pretty much every SR is an auto-include, so we're just going to kind of briefly go over them, very briefly. But everyone's an auto-include. Like, they're all bombs in their own individual ways, and some of them are even better in the fact that we're in a sealed format where you won't have access to all the outs from them. So with Jiren, for instance, Jiren is just a 4-cost, 30k, permanent. This card can be killed once per turn, allowing you to turn sideways and be safe. Activate battle once per turn, opponent's turn once per turn, you take a damage, and if this card is in rest mode, add the top card of your deck to your life. This is going to be great because basically you'll just be able to draw one. You'll take a damage and then replace the life once per turn. He stops himself from being KO'd. There aren't many cards in the set, I believe, that can remove him from the board, and he's going to be able to help you turbo through your deck. Now, moving on to Topo, 4 cost, 25k power. When attacking, discard 1 card from your hand. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less and KO it. Very good. When KO, draw 2 cards. There are, like I said, Jiren being a 4 cost, there aren't a lot of cards that are going to bounce a 4 cost. So in these positions, you're probably going to get this destroyed and get its on KO effect. This Vegeta is going to make pretty much assured damage. You discard 2 cards that are probably dead, and it's going to go up to a 50k like, you know, power thing. You're going to be able to attack with it while doing that effect, and then you can blow up something with 25k power less. Very mint. The Gohan can be great for decimating boards, just playing him 7 cards or less. So play him when you have 8 cards in hand, and you go down to 7 by playing him. He's going to bottom deck 2 cards at 3 costs or less. That's great. You got this Videl, who's going to be able to recycle Earthlings, and that is going to be cool because it doesn't have to be it has to be 1 blue non Videl card at the cost of 3 or less, an Earthling. So there's a lot of blue cards you can recycle, but you can probably recycle some vanillas too. Just for a quick check, I want to make sure there's a oops, yes, okay, so there's one Gohan that's a vanilla here. There's also a Videl that's vanilla, and you can't pick her up because she is a Videl. So realistically, there's a couple of things here. There's a couple of 10Ks you can pick up here. A couple of cool things you can pick up here because it doesn't say Earthling only. It just says Earthling. So that's actually pretty cool. That'll be fun. Next, you have the Son Goku. He's gonna on play ramp something from your hand, so you just put a useless card you don't want to draw again into your energy. Very, very good on play. Very, very good because you're gonna get that draw and be able to ramp again on KO. You've got Piccolo. And Piccolo is going to be very, very, very cool. He's going to come down. He's going to be able to give you a life back if he's KO'd. And then on top of that, activate main once per turn if you have 8 or more energy. During this turn, you can play an extra card for free. There's plenty of extra cards in this set, and a lot of them are devastating, whether it be Special Beam Cannon, Final Explosion, It's Over, Sphere of Destruction. There's a lot of things. I mean, by the time this guy's out, you're probably not playing Sphere of Destruction. I mean, you could just use it just to destroy something, but yeah. Majin Vegeta's a house too. You're gonna be able to attack and then, you know, blow up something in rest mode that costs 3 or less. Switch this guy to active mode to protect himself. Very, very nice. Majin Buu will never leave the field until you run their cards in hand, which in sealed could probably happen, but you can always just leave him untapped if you don't want to risk him getting attacked on. So very good. This Son Goku GT is going to be able to come out and give you an energy marker to create that if you pull him and you want to go more of a energy marker strategy if you have the cards to do so. This Bardock is going to push pressure. You're going to be able to attack with him, combo, untap him, and the cool part about him is your opponent can't reliably swing on him. When they attack him, they have 1 chance to destroy him. If you swing for 25 and your opponent goes, yeah, okay, cool, combo a 10k, go up to 30, draw a card, untap him. Yeah, that's done. Pan, just being a 2-cost Self-Awakener would have been enough of grounds to run her, but the fact that she is going to also have a bounce effect is going to draw you a card at the cost of an energy marker, double fun. And so yeah, those are the SRs, and then finally we have the SERs, which again, just like the SRs, if you pull one, just play one. There's no reason not to. But while we're here, you've got Gohan. Gohan's gonna be nice because you're gonna be able to start ramping off the top of your deck though. So just again, be aware that you might screw yourself out of your bomb cards by doing this. However, he is going to have a really nice effect once you are at 8 energy or more, making your leader essentially unblockable in a sealed format, so don't forget that. Then you have the Goku, who is going to be able to add additional draw and maintain your energy marker, always having you being able to play 1 energy above curve, as well as having an extra draw engine as long as your opponent cannot remove him. So, with that being said, that is my evaluation of this set when it comes to sealed. There are more cards than that in the format, but these are the cards I think are generically just more powerful than the other ones that are just going to give you more bang for your buck and the ones that you should aggressively seek. Now, granted, you can always accidentally find more than that. Like, you could pull enough of an archetype to just be like, you know what, let me just play that instead. But with that being said, the last thing I just want to talk about are the leaders, because over here you have 4 leaders in this set. And all of them can do well to a certain degree. You have Son Goku, which is the blue one, who's going to be able to help you filter more, and he's also going to be able to defend himself once per turn if you're at 7 cards or less in hand, allowing you to save cards in hand while seeing your cards. I think this leader is going to be very, very, very good for what we're trying to do, mainly just because you're going to be able to see more cards in your already small deck and then defend yourself inherently. Next, we got Piccolo. I think that this one's going to be rough because unless you pull enough of Piccolo's archetype from your packs, it's going to be very hard to make his assured damage a thing. So I think this leader is more or less just kind of in the bin, unless you pull very specifically. Majin Buu is actually, I think, a draft powerhouse as long as you get enough Wicked Souls. As long as you have enough Wicked Souls, and a lot of them are on the common, uncommon area, you're going to be able to just cheat out a lot of good cards at the end of your turn, or good cards for sealed, and then be able to press your opponent with cards that you didn't pay for. So I dig that. Then you've got SS4, and SS4 is just very, 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 very cool. As long as you have cards that make energy markers, or you get lucky and pull the SCR, I don't know, like a god. But yeah, as long as you have enough cards that make energy markers, this guy is going to be able to provide lasting value. And since destruction is fairly scarce, not as scarce as it was in other sets, it's going to be very hard to get rid of some of your cards that you boost up by 15k until the end of your opponent's turn, or 10k if you don't have the energy marker. But I think this guy can work. Then you have Jiren. I think Jiren's the scariest one, because in terms of like it's scary for you if you sleeve him, because the SR is what makes him work, and I feel like you will need to build him a very particular way to make him good, and I don't think most of that's in this set. So this one I would not really choose to play in draft. And then you have the old reliable Frieza. Frieza's gonna take whatever you have, be able to untap it. Frieza can make some really, really nice plays happen. Once you're awakened, you can, if you pull like SDR Gohan somehow, this guy will protect him for most of the game, and you'll just start ramping for no reason. However, that is, like I said, one-on random ramping, so you gotta be careful about that. But you will be able to pretty much be able to keep your assets safe. Having like something like a Super Saiyan 4 Goku SCR with this guy is broken. It's gonna never leave the field. But this guy's gonna be able to protect a lot of things. Untap your 20Ks that you can go neutral, your opponent can go neutral with, and keep your 30Ks, you know, just sitting there rested, because they're gonna be easier to defend. Frieza is always old reliable in these release formats, but the other old reliable is Vegeta, because you're often going to be sitting here with 7 or less cards in hand, allowing you to get his 35k power swings in a lot more often, and there's a lot of good blue cards that are going to ask you to be at 7 or less cards in hand, so there's a lot of synergy depending on how much you pull. Then the other ones are Trunks' Future. We do have a lot of come into play effects, especially in black, so being able to bounce cards with his Awakened ability could prove to be useful if your deck setup is right for it. And then lastly, especially because of that Vegeta on the common level, if you pull enough of him, I think there is an option. There is a world where you think about using Vegeta in this set, because you're going to be able to Senzu Bean yourself at the end of every turn, and there are a few extra cards, not really defensive extra cards, like you've got your Majin Buu turn you to candy, I guess, but there are going to be some merits. If you pull 2 or more of those Vegetas in your common slots, you might just think about using this leader just to always have Bean up, because that's a dumb interaction. But with that being said, let's hit up the closing and finish out this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this is going to help you evaluate some of your cards when it comes to the release event. It's a little bit of a longer video, but there's a lot to go over. Let me know what you're planning or what you're excited to pull during your release events, or what you're hoping to be able to put together. And yeah, if you take down your release event, come back and let me know. Let me know how you did, because I am definitely excited to hear the progress. So thank you guys. I will see you guys in the next video, and just keep your eyes peeled for the Patreon, for videos on my Universe X channel. I'm not calling it UniXDB anymore. It's gonna be Universe X, and while I will focus on Dragon Ball, there's gonna be a lot of anime and manga stuff on there as well. So yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Later.